Good evening and welcome to Die Dragon Die presents Dread and Circus, episode 10. I'm your DM and host Marty, joined by Adam and Mark, and maybe an Ahmed if he's feeling up to it. I know Ahmed is a little under the weather, but hopefully he'll be able to join us soon. How was everyone's week, guys?
Pretty good.
I learned why red eyes suck. And the answer is many reasons. I left San Francisco the flight was supposed to leave at 11:30. It didn't leave till 1, and then I arrived in Toronto. I was supposed to be in Toronto at 6 a.m. I didn't get into Toronto till 8. And then I got to drive through Toronto traffic on Thursday morning to get back to my house where my bed is.
Toronto is a city of 5 million people, so the traffic is significant and annoying.
The 401 is the highest volume highway in North America.
Oh, even worse than things down in, like, LA?
Yeah, because they have more routes. They have more roads, right? There's only 2 roads that go east-west. So there's that, and there's the 407. So, yeah, it sucked. That's the word we're going to use. And what you do is you wake up at 5 a.m. the day of the flying, and then make certain that you're 6'4" and a good 300 pounds when you're in the friggin' airplane seat for full on. And then they don't feed you. There was no food. There was no food. It was 6 hours in the air, 5.5 hours in the air with turbulence and no food. Yeah, it was like all the garbage.
Marco, how are you doing? And how is that ice cream cone you're nibbling on? I'm assuming it's ice cream.
He's freaking...
Yes, it's a drumstick.
Okay.
And it's delicious. This
Yeah.
is drumstick number 2, which means I'm almost halfway through my supper.
So, screw you all. I'll be having my protein shake of the evening in a couple of hours, and I'll be pretending it tastes awesome.
Yeah. Well, you know, sugar is addictive, and seeing as addiction is a disease, apparently, I'm just really keeping the virus at bay. I'm practically a doctor for doing that.
The logic.
and as we all know, doctors are heroes. So, in short,
you're a hero
I'm a hero for eating drumsticks.
Drumsticks for dinner.
For eating ice cream for dinner. No,
You're such a dick, by
your
the
wife's
way.
not at home, right? Is basically that what you're saying? And the reason why you're eating drumsticks for dinner is that your wife's not at home. So you're a hero because you're alone at home.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I am.
Okay. Embrace the diabetes. Exactly.
All right. If anybody wants to know what a
Yeah,
drumstick
maybe
is,
we'll-
as I believe it's just a Canadian thing, there's the link to... There's free advertising. Nestle, drumsticks, get us up with that collab.
It's just an ice cream cone where they jam the ice cream down into the cone and kind of spill it out like an ice cream cone.
It's a cornetto,
like,
is what they call it in the UK. Yeah.
It's like, why are we wasting the inside of the ice cream cone?
Just fill it with chocolate and ice cream. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And there's a chocolate coating inside to make sure the ice cream itself doesn't make the waffle cone soggy, because that sucks.
Uh-huh. All right. Had a good time with you guys rolling up gladiators last night. We've got game today. We will do the Road of Sorrow folks that were left in a very precarious situation. I wonder what's going to happen.
Son.
Ahmed, if he controls Arlen, is basically going to be controlling a very, very injured person. So we'll see what he wants to do when he shows up, because I don't think that gets solved overnight. And then tomorrow we will play the Masters. For the players that are available, and then Sunday, which you don't care about, I've got my in-person game with some of the players that eventually, when we get to a certain point where we'll push pause on that campaign, you may start to see pop in and out of the stream as maybe guests, and then maybe even as regulars. Who knows? It's kind of the joining of the two worlds. Worlds.
Chat's laughing at us about our predicament with the slaves, and I just want to put up the disclaimer up front. I am in no way responsible for the current predicament.
Random encounters are.
I will be molly made in this situation.
There could have been one dragon, there could have been a pair of dragons, or there could have been, I think, a rampage of desert drakes. And the rampage of desert drakes, something like 5 to 12 of them, came and dummy wrecked the caravan. But we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves. One thing I did do with a few idle moments. Now, this is, keep in mind, this is not what I do, but I decided. Like this, I don't have the skills to do this sort of thing, but I did it anyway. So we have a new intro for the campaign with Marty's low voice. With this augmented.
I heard the intro. It's awesome.
I found a bunch of pictures on some website where they're all royalty-free, like commercial-free use pictures. I tried to tell the story with the pictures. It's basically the preamble for the campaign, which I'm going to play right now because I think it's fun and it's good to have it actually like recorded on Twitch. Reasons. Let's see if I can find it. Where did I stick this thing? Die Dragon Die videos. No. Split presentations. This is the Dread and Circus intro. Dread intro. There we go. Let me drop this into...
Intro. That didn't work at all.
Ooh, loud.
Betwixt the raising of the undying emperor and the great planar war that shook the heavens, there was an age of contradictions, where cannons won kingdoms and muskets kept the peace. A brave few won the hearts of the conquered and conquerors alike. Of these we speak of the decline of the great kingdoms and cultures under the heel of empire. Of those we speak of gladiators and the untold thousands that worshipped them. Of this, an age of glory, where kings would be slaves and a gladiator would be king.
Alright, XSplit is a little bit silly. It didn't like me just dumping that into the screen. So I will get that set up for next time. We'll play it a couple more times. Yeah, so redid the preamble, so I don't have to actually say it every time. I could just play this clip. And
you have such a tone shift on your voice there. You could have been a, like, 13-year-old girl. It's shitting it down that low.
Hey, it wasn't me. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know who that was. It's Andre the Giant low. It's like, what did he say?
You have to feel the rocks to hear the right voice.
Okay, why don't we, yeah, spreadsheets. We saw a little bit of the spreadsheets yesterday, more so the gladiator rolling, which we had a lot of fun, and we introduced, the stream knows a little bit more about the other Ludi that are in Vatapol, but this is not where we are, and what we're gathered here this evening to figure out, to view the fate of those that are on the road of sorrow is more aligned to the topic tonight. And what happened last game? We'll do a quick recap. Last game was called Fork in the Road. The caravan travels to the Tindar slave market, where Master Zamacles buys a lot of slaves, including a trio of slave-born dwarves. Arlen makes his prayers and healing gifts available to Zamacles. Arlen tends to all members of the caravan, trying to keep the slaves healthy as they march through the desert. At an oasis, the caravan is attacked by a rampage of lightning-breathing desert drakes, and everyone, say slave and master alike, are forced to defend themselves, albeit some of them do flee. As the dust settles, those in the caravan take stock of their positions and numbers. And we will go to the... So they are in the Zengarian Desert right now at the Sky Pond Oasis in the Duchy of Zengar. And I think Adam had this comment when he watched the bit of the replay that Zamacles makes a poor caravan master.
Yeah, he's not very good at his job.
He's not very good at his job. Fair enough.
You know what? It could be better. You know, we're gonna give him like a 2 out of 5.
Right. So here's the mess. You've got animals running all over the place because they were in the middle of like bathing and watering the animals. The gladiators were all bathing when they attacked. So basically, when the drakes attacked, they were standing in their loincloths in the middle of the oasis. And had to run over to the noble-covered wagon to grab weapons in order to help defend themselves. Now, a lot of soldiers are dead, including many of the Stygian soldiers. These are the less advanced soldiers, or the soldiers with the less advanced weaponry.
Did my buddy live? Did Buddy?
Eric and Roger do live. However, they're in like single-digit hit points. Arlen has spent most of his healing. We'll get back to him and what happened to him in a second. Some of the men were carried off. In fact, you can still hear the drakes behind several dunes and some men that got carried off screaming, probably as the drakes are eating them. Let me go to the DM view and see if I can count the number of drakes that remain. You didn't kill them all. I believe 2 of them are downed, and 3 flew off. 2 of those 3 that flew off with a man. One of the men might have been living when he was flown off with. The other one was clearly dead.
Did you at least hurt him?
The 3 drakes that flew off were very, very injured.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not like they're going to just like put down the dude, have a snack, and then come back for seconds.
Nope. You could look at the tokens for the drakes to see how much damage you needed to do to drop the drakes.
Oh, that'll take a while. That'll be a bit.
Yeah. They were well past bloodied, the 3 drakes that you injured, because of the guns, the muskets, and the pole axes. The soldiers actually did a lot of work. It was the electrical sand clouds of breath weapons that did horrible damage to the party, including to your first level cleric, Arlen, got caught in one of the breath weapons, and his legs from the knees down are now smoldering charred ash and have been separated from his body. The wounds, at least, on both of his stubs that are now his legs are cauterized. Although it's difficult to see what part is from halfway...
Best use of a villain point. Where was the villain point used?
The villain point was used to save Arlen from just outright dying.
The villain point was used?
Yep.
To maim him.
To maim him.
Yes. No, so he wasn't saved by anything. It was we could make him a very hard character to play now.
Saved is a relative term.
Right.
You thought
I'd dig it.
Snowbeard right now is hiding underneath some blankets inside the prisoner wagon. These 3 really tough dwarves ended up helping grapple one of the dragons. These dwarves that don't speak Dwarven, like they're slave-born. They were born into slavery as dwarves.
Snowbeard lost some charisma?
He lost a point of charisma.
Snowbeard, well, how did he lose the charisma?
He got critted or something?
Yeah, he critically failed his saving throw against the breath weapon.
Ooh. And a villain point was used so that he gained something.
I think it was minus 1d6 charisma. Like he could have ended up in a coma.
Right.
He rolled a 1 or something. It was like, yeah, you lose you lose charisma. It's like, oh, 4 charisma. He's got a 4 charisma now.
Okay. Sam is gonna go punch Snowbeard in the mouth.
Zamacles has a wand that shoots off scorching rays that was quite effective, and he's breathed once. He seems to breathe his own electrical lightning bolt, which actually injured the drakes that were shooting Sandy lightning. Arlen has been pulled back. Joran the Hymn and Undwind are tending to Arlen as best as they can. Old Whitey had some spells. I believe there is a Bull Strength spell still running on Ugg from Old Whitey, and a Cat's Grace that is running on Arlen? No. Who's got the Cat's Grace?
Either Edward.
Edward? Yeah, Edward's got the Cat's Grace. It doesn't look like it's marked there, but I think he has one because he. A lot of people are injured, and there are soldiers that some of them are lying down and moaning, and we basically pushed pause as the dragons were flying away with their
snacks.
Tasty snacks.
With their snacks. Yep. You can hear one of the soldiers screaming. You hear two of the dragons roaring, and then the screaming just abruptly stops.
Screamy treats. I scream, they scream.
Mark has his ice cream. All right.
That's a good idea. I'll go finish my supper.
Sam would like to go punch Snowbeard in the face.
Okay, so Sam wanders back, and you see a bunch of injured soldiers. This guy's kind of pulling this soldier back a little bit, and you can see Eric and Roger. You go up to you're like, where is Snowbeard? Give me a perception check. His stealth is 3.
I see Snowbeard.
Okay, you can see Snowbeard peeking out from under the blankets. inside the slave wagon, which is closed but not locked.
All right.
Actually, it is locked. There are a bunch of manacles that are wrapped around the bars and tied in a way where, you know how like manacles kind of can, some of them don't have locks on them, they're just sort of pinched and
pins that hold them together.
Yeah, there's a pin in one of them that's holding it together. You could probably, well, you could strength check your way through that. You could undo it, or you could like maybe even as a halfling wiggle your way into the cage with Snowbeard.
I'm gonna walk up beside where he is and pop him in the face.
Roger is kind of he reloads his gun and he's kind of pointing it out into the desert looking for others. You can hear Undwind praying. He's like, "Have mercy upon us, mercy, mercy, mercy." There's moving around in Zamacles'. You can hear like bottles breaking and things like he's looking for something. Joram the Hymn is just like tending to Arlen, but it's kind of like not sure where to dab the clean cloth. Old Whitey just sort of exhales. He looks really tired. He glances at Samuel.
Sam gives Old Whitey a nod.
Okay. "Fucking bastards," says Eric as he after loading his gun, he presses it to the temple of the Drake and pulls the trigger.
Shoot away. Hey, Kissy Lips, you got time to talk?
A couple of soldiers are running over to their master's wagon. The slaves have gotten away, and you can see like a dusty trail heading off in this direction as the huge group of slaves. I think I've even removed them from the map, but I'll give you an idea of how many slaves are all chained together in two big groups.
Oh.
They're all kind of like shuffling down the road. You could just see the dust of where they left, and you can see some horse trails into the deserty scrublands going north, where three or four horses and a couple of drivers ran off to. Up that way. Radimer whistles, and you notice that a couple of his skeletons just sort of start following him. You can hear a monkey, Mr. Pickles, making noise in the trees. He wanders over, and he's now.
It might be time to talk about the terms of our employment.
Okay. These Imperial soldiers have wandered over. They're actually like grabbing what looks like water containers and drinking. This soldier wanders over and is going to shoot this dragon in the head.
As long as they ain't pointing their guns at me.
These 3 dwarves, slave-born, move over and start climbing back into their wagon. And they sit down inside the wagon.
That's not a strong bargaining position, but that's fine by them.
None of you can speak to them because you learn that they speak Goblin. They don't speak Dwarven.
Oh no!
They might
speak
know
their racial enemy's tongue.
There were a lot of goblins in the Tindar slave market and probably in the mines, and they were slave-born, so they learned whatever language they were exposed to. They might know a pidgin of like slave tongue, which is based off of Goblin. They seem to react to Imperial Common, but they haven't said much to any of you. They definitely didn't respond when Snowbeard initially said hello to them in Dwarven. Ugg is just breathing. Ugg is looking at the soldiers and wondering what to do with them. Edward is. He hears that what Sam has said, and a couple of guards wander over. That's Eric and Roger. Edward's just going to go over and camp out here so we can see what's going on. You can hear crashing, like jingling of bottles. He's still moving around in there. You're pretty sure he can hear you. Unwin's like, what do you... He's looking at you. What do we do? He still seems to be in shock about what happened to Arlen.
Don't worry, kid. We'll figure something out. Hey, Zamacles!
Old Whitey pushes Jorm off to the side because he doesn't seem to know what he's doing, and you notice that old Whitey is now... If you have any ranks in heal, you can roll it to see how good he's doing. If not, then it's a wisdom check.
I have ranks in heal. I have Bobos all the time. 14.
Okay, he's doing a decent job. You'll have to tend to these horrible wounds later. He's at least making sure they're not bleeding.
Hey, Zamacles, I'm coming in.
Well, don't come in. It's an awful mess in here. Where is it? Where is it?
Don't worry, we're all family here. Hop into the...
Okay, you push into the door and you can see Zamacles like going through a trunk, and he's throwing out like multicolored scarves and a boot, and you're not even sure if that like why he's got a boot because his feet don't fit normal boots, He's just going through things. Ah, there you are. And he pulls out what looks like a potion in this elaborate bottle. He unstoppers it. Ding. He looks at you. One moment, please. You do see that he is injured. He does have some damage.
Oh, is that a potion for Arlen? It's good to feel friends, right? We're all friends
so
here.
He's showing you his scaled back. And
I will take my AOO and sunder the bottle.
Fuck! Oh no! Oh no! All right.
So it's on.
It might not work.
Yep.
I mean,
his CMB will be, or CMD. 1 second.
His CMB as a spellcaster is 36. What?
It's like 20.
okay. Natural 20.
Okay, you do this. You kind of like lean on this banister, kind of at the edge of this like bed-like bench, and you just do this roundhouse kick, and you're right back to where you started. The potion is broken everywhere. Zamacles was actually bringing the empty potion bottle up to his succulent lips, and he went, "Oh, that wasn't called for. It also was very expensive," he says, and Zamacles usually rubs his lips together to purse the smile. You see this time Zamacles is baring teeth.
Ooh.
Roll initiative.
All right. $15.
You're not going to let your master drink his healing potion. He's going to do something back to you. All right.
The thing is, I could have disarmed him, and I'm actually better at disarming than sundering, but sundering is cooler.
I'm going to keep all the same people on this list. Got him by the ropes, bro. The chat seems to agree with your assessment. So why don't we just roll initiative? At this point in time, not a long period of time has happened. The bull strength and the cat's grace is still running. So Edward does have a +2 to his initiative. And just give me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rolls for the non-PC or the non-slaves. Actually, I'll do that. 1 to 20. I'm even going to keep the desert drakes on there because they're just over another hill and they flew very fast. They've got a power where they can sometimes take extra move actions.
That's cool.
All right, Zamacles is the important initiative here. He rolls a 16.
Okay.
Sam rolled a
11.
11.
Oh no.
I need 1, 2. Arlen will just leave off the initiative sheet because he is unconscious. At least he's stable at this point.
Yeah.
This started with me smacking his thing, so that was a surprise round?
Yeah, that was a surprise round. He
Okay.
It was actually an
just did-
AOO, so at that point in time, he may know that you're hostile, and you may know. Yeah, this is a good time to roll initiative. Edward and Ugg and Snowbeard, if they want to.
Yeah, they do.
Okay, Mark, you roll those 3.
All right, so 3.
Oh, you shouldn't cross your nuts. You sometimes have to go to the doctor to uncross your nuts. It's very unpleasant.
Oh, 1, 2, and 17. Oh
Okay,
no!
Snowbeard at least.
Don't tell me Snowbeard.
Snowbeard, I think his initiative is +1 because of a trait, isn't he? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
okay.
Yes.
Murder dwarf.
yeah. I don't think that's what the trait was called, but effectively, yes. All right, Zamacles is the first to react to this. You ungrateful little snot, is what he says.
Just saved your life.
He steps
And your
back.
caravan.
He pulls out the wand and he ready actions against Sam. Get the fuck out of my caravan.
All right.
Caravan guards. Let's see if they noticed. He is being kind of quiet. We'll say there's 4, 5, 6 of them nearby, and they need to make they need to roll 18s or higher to hear that there may be a disagreement going on inside. Oh. There's one guy who's right near the doorway hears, and then Roger actually hears. Okay. So the caravan guards, this guy actually pushes open the window. Everything all right in the air?
Swimmingly.
This
Getting
one
along
was,
like good friends.
This one was just leaving. Roger just takes this opportunity to 5 step away from Ugg and reload his gun.
Ugg might cast sleep on them.
The dwarves and slaves, the slaves are slowly picking their way, like the drivers. The dwarves have gotten back, and they're just sitting down inside the wagon. They're not even chained up. They just found a nice seat, and they're taking a breather. Slaves? The other drivers ran off, which was stupid. Bortho is not... he's too scared to leave his wagon full of food. He's...
Stress eating.
Stress eating, yeah. Nervously eating was what I was going to say, but stress eating is exactly what I meant to say. And then on the turn for the caravan and guards, a couple of them are just wandering over. This guy avoids the dragon body and the skeleton, so he's just wandering over this way, and is checking out this Imperial soldier. Yeah, this guy's reloading his gun. All right. They don't look like they've taken like hostile stances, except for the guy whose face is in the window accusationally. The desert drakes, you can hear them roaring, almost like the gunfire they might have known, and they're reacting to it by roaring. If you speak Draconic, they're kind of saying like "fuck you,"
like 6 kind of dragon.
Kind of troll in kind of dragon.
Yeah, they're
like, fuck you're so dead. You know, that sort of thing. They're really angry, and there's still a problem.
Yes.
Snowbeard, at this point,
Snowbeard.
you saw Sam hit you in the head, and he went into the master's caravan. You know that is very audacious for a slave to do, especially if you're not invited, and you don't think at any point in time the gladiators were ever invited in the caravan.
He quietly makes his way to the door and starts undoing the manacles.
Okay.
He imagines there'll be an opportunity to escape.
Sam, with a scorching ray wand or something that kind of had beams of fire, because I don't know if you've got spellcraft, it pointed your way.
Sam has rank in spellcraft. I'm an expert in many things.
All right, fine. You know it's a scorching ray wand. It was only firing one ray.
Okay. Sam is going to take a total defense action.
Okay.
And 5-foot step forward.
All right, he fires. You little shit. That's what he says. All right, he basically readied action, so he command words the thing. He fires the ray. I think he interrupts your action, so you're also doing full defense, so you wouldn't get an AOO.
Right.
It's also a wand. It's a wand. Doesn't AOO, but it's a ranged attack in melee. So there's this weird circumstance. All right, he's going to try to fire and hit you. His BAB is that, and his dex is good. So it is plus this. AC 29.
Give me a second. My touch AC is 25.
Okay. Sam just got blasted by this fiery ray in his shoulder for 14 damage.
Ouch!
All right, that's fine.
He looks frightened that you didn't fall down. With this scorching sort of thing, like this scorching, oversized cigarette burn that is still sizzling in your shoulder.
See, now we're even. Maybe you didn't count how many gods you have. It's not very many.
Okay.
So it's a good time for us to negotiate.
You notice a flicker of fear go across his face.
Isn't it good to be friends? Isn't it good when everybody just gets along? We're getting along well in here. Everything is fine.
All right, Radimer stops looking at the dragon and is now looking up to see what's going on. Radimer is going to just wait to see what's going on. He's going to delay. Undwind and the servants.
Looking after Arlen.
Yeah, I think they're just tending to Arlen. Jorum's going to go fetch some water for Old Whitey while he's busy tending to Joram. Undwin has been pressed into Old Whitey's service to, like, hold here, you know, that sort of thing. So basically they are on their knees helping Arlen. Or trying to anyways. Edward. Edward sees what Samuel has done. Edward sees that there are soldiers with guns all around him and pole arms.
Oh,
Does Edward have any spells?
No.
Edward's a dual caster, right? He's a spell
He's got 2 casting classes.
So he's got Cure Light Wounds and Produce Flame. He has 5 of these that he hasn't used. He's already used his Color Spray, Shocking Grasp, and Shield, it looks like. I think he's going to go running into the wagon to heal.
He might want to heal himself first. There, it's not looking too good.
Sam is not bloodied by the 14 damage.
Oh, okay.
Sam's like a little tough shit.
17 damage out of 20. Yes, he is going to quietly worship. He's going to quietly call out to Bakab, the Lord of Mages, and use a healing spell. So
yeah, don't. It sucks, but yeah.
And of course the Lord of Mages apparently
says, fuck you.
Apparently isn't listening. He's like, huh? Yeah. Looking up from his
reading.
I was reading. Sorry. All right, so he just quietly casts a spell while no one is watching. While there are other and more important things going on, Ugg sees what Samuel's doing.
And he sees what Roger's doing. Does Eric have a loaded weapon?
He also has a loaded weapon, yes.
Ugg is going to punch Eric.
Okay. Flat-footed guard in breastplate. Sounds like AC 16. Well, actually, we'll say they have bucklers. They've got little bucklers because they use it with their guns. They've got AC 17.
Punch him. Don't kill him.
Yeah.
We need him.
Wham! This ham fist just comes down hammering on top of his helmet. Okay, he's got 4 hit points right now.
Not anymore.
Nighty-night.
Good night. Good night, sweet prince.
Was this non-lethal or lethal?
This is an unarmed strike, so it's non-lethal.
He does have the feat, so he could choose.
Oh, it's non-lethal. He doesn't want to kill.
Okay.
Even if
He's
is
a good
Eric.
guy.
Yeah.
He's an ugly guy, but he's good.
It's my job to ask these things. Yeah, you basically box him in the ears with his helmet on. He goes, "Bah!" He hits the side of the wagon kind of roughly, and right now we'll say Eric's arm, one of his hands is actually in the spokes of the wheel.
Uh-oh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So just
all
keep
right.
that in
So,
mind.
and then he 5-foot steps towards Roger. Says, "Don't."
Roger's like, he's making the oh shit face. Zamacles took his readied action, so let me drop his initiative the same as Sam. It's like he rolled an 11, which means he's tied with Sam. I think there's a tiebreaker that needs to be rolled. There's a roll off. He gets a 10.
I got 12.
12. Okay, so Sam beats Zamacles.
Gonna speed bag his nuts.
It almost feels like they had a week to think about their predicament.
It doesn't feel like a split-second decision. I don't know.
No, it does not. All right, caravan guards realize that Ugg is now attacking. They can see him attacking. They see Samuel basically saying, "No, everything's okay in here." There's a flash of red. This guy was watching the spell go off. Get the slaves! And the soldiers are going to move. Are all the soldiers? Yeah, they're all in the same pip. Because I'm a mean DM. Okay. This Stygian soldier is just going to go over and whap Edward.
No, Edward. Edward.
These guys were basically warrior 2s. So 14, 15 with their weapon. So whap! A poleaxe for AC 21 against Edward.
Oh no!
Edward still has his shield spell running. And a Cat's Grace.
Oh,
okay, that's
okay. I should put like a shoes like
should help.
20, I think. 22.
22. Can we get to 22? 22.
His dex is normally +3. That's 13.
Oh, that's not good enough. That's 19. That's AC 19.
Okay.
That's a bad start.
That's no good.
Mage
Good
armor?
Good night, sweet prince.
No.
12 damage from a poleaxe.
Good night, sweet prince.
Oh,
That's
no.
26 damage. Whap!
I could have used that cat's grace.
He's now unconscious. He did not pull the punch, so he is also bleeding. These Stygian soldiers, 2 of them come into the cart. Well, actually, one's going to stand at the entrance to the cart. You have cover from this attack, Sam, and he's sticking his poleaxe into the cart and attacking.
All right.
AC 16.
No.
He shreds a cushion, and there are like
AC 31 with cover.
He shreds a cushion, and there are a bunch of like down feathers in the air everywhere. This soldier is injured, so he's a little bit more tentative to go running into something. And this guy in the window is going to pop off to the side. You notice that he's putting away his poleaxe as part of a move, pulling out his light crossbow and loading it.
I'm going to stay close to this Zamacles guy and see if they got point blank shot.
It's precise strike.
Roger.
Or precise shot, yeah.
Roger just kind of like looks at what's going on, and he doesn't. He goes full defense. He's like raising his gun up into defensive motion, like he doesn't want to get hit, but he's not firing his gun. You might have an ally. Where are my soldiers? They're all dead. So there's one more. It's the guy with the gun over here who shot the desert drake. He goes over to the window. He points his gun inside and pulls the trigger against Sam.
Okay.
These guys are 4th level. They do have precise strike.
Okay. Touch AC much?
Yep. So 4, 6, plus 7.
Bet you wish you finished that monk training now, don't you?
Natural 1, blow your face off. Boom goes the dynamite. Shoots Zamacles in the face.
So would have a 19 hit?
Not even close.
Okay, so it is a misfire as well as a critical miss.
Yep.
80. So his gun went. Merde. Well, I guess he may not be French. He's like, fuck. And let's find the critical miss chart, which is also critical hit chart.
Kissy lips. Get him. See, we haven't touched him. At no point have we touched Zamacles.
All right, I rolled 80 on the critical miss, which is D52. Oh no.
Oh yes, oh.
Strike nearest ally.
Oh, critical threat against nearest ally.
19.
Actually, that would be hard to explain. Zamacles' brains are all over the.
He takes 1d4 points of dex damage. You know his fingers are all fucked up from the explosion of the gun. Like they're all dislocated. Yeah, exactly. So 1d4 dex damage is bad for a guy who shoots with his dex. It's 2 dex damage. Ah! He cries out at the explosion. You notice the dragons roar at the sounds of the guns. They're kind of saying, like in Draconic, like eat your guns, as in, like shove them where the sun don't shine, kind of thing. Yeah, yeah. It seems to be a real common thing with the dragons hating the guns. The dwarves and slaves. The driver decides the bushes are probably a good place for me to go. Joram is more like a servant, so he turns around. Well, he's kind of a slave as well. He turns around and he's like, What are you doing? He's just waving his hands around. Don't do this. You'll condemn us all, is what he's saying. He's yelling at.
We're just trying to negotiate.
The dwarves are just sitting down. One of them's picking his nose. The other one's kind of fiddling with a wound.
If only we had a leader type to get them out here.
The desert drakes are roaring, occasionally throwing in insults about the guns. They may not realize that you guys are turning against each other at this point. Snowbeard, what are you doing? The manacles are done, and the door is openable, or you could basically push your way out of it as part of a
Yeah,
move.
he wants to hop down.
Okay. You can make an
And-
acrobatics check to land not prone. It would be DC 15.
Actually, he wants to land prone.
Okay. So you use a move action to 5 foot your way out the door and kind of like crawl under the ground.
And then he crawls on his belly. He's going for the gun over here.
Okay. Crawling, unfortunately, is a 5-foot step when you're prone. So you're like scooting along the ground.
Okay.
So you
Unless he's a commando rogue or whatever.
climb
it is.
out and then you're going towards the loaded gun. Okay, got it. Sam, who is in Zamacles' face.
You really should rethink your position. Because we're all friends, right? Dragons are coming. I'm going to step over here. I'm going to defensively punch this soldier in the face twice.
Okay. All right, the soldier's AC. The window's big enough for you not to have cover. However, you have cover against him. His AC is 17 with his armor and 2 with his dex, so 19.
Okay. 1d20 plus 8 plus 1 minus 3 minus 2. AC 20 and AC 13.
Okay, you kind of like reached over and you kicked twice through the window. Your foot hit one time, connecting with his big schnoz.
Nice.
Bang. Pretty sure my fists are D4s.
Oh,
Get
his
'em.
AC, he's dex damage. His AC is not 19, it's 18.
Okay. 13 still does not strike.
Yeah.
So 3 non-lethal damage.
Okay, his eyes tear a little bit at that, but he holds his ground. Zamacles
Next time I'll power attack.
is going to incur an AOO as he's trying to get out of the wagon now.
Trap.
I'll,
Trap.
I'll-
Oh, you don't have that.
let's see what I do have. I've got +4 against trip. I got a +3 to grapple. I have maneuver training disarm. Does he have a weapon?
He's got the wand in his hand.
Okay, I'm gonna try to snatch the wand from him. No?
CMD 20.
Do it.
I got it.
Okay,
Nice.
so basically when he leaves the square, you grab the wand. Oh, that's not fair. Help!
Just trying to talk.
Help is what he's saying. The little bastard. All halflings are thieves.
No, Sammy's just got the talking stick.
Hey,
now.
you dropped this.
Radimer is reading a spell if anyone threatens him. Life isn't fair, Zamacles. Get used to it. No, it's very fair when I'm the master. No. Unwin and the servants. I think they're more. They're looking up at like what's going on. Like gunfire is happening, and they look kind of panicked. Old Whitey is. No, don't. They seem really concerned. Jorum's also panicking. You'll be the death of us all! Edward needs to make a con check to stabilize. The DC is 16.
Okay. I'll
You got
roll.
it, Adam? Okay.
Her. I rolled 10.
Okay,
That
he's
is
now
nuts.
he's now at 27 damage. Ugg.
Ugg is, I trust you. Cautiously moving this way.
All right, there's a really confused and torn look on Roger's face as he's looking over at Eric. He glances to Radimer and sort of gives a shrug, like, "What am I supposed to do?"
He's gonna take the AOOs and charge Stygian Soldier 12, who looks like he's hurt already.
Yep.
Whitey, save Edward. Save Eddie!
There are 2 AOs. So pole axes are flying in. A butt end from the one that's already got the business end inside the caravan, and the other one's using the business end. AC 20, AC 7.
AC 7 definitely misses. AC 20 probably hits Ugg. It does, even if he's got armor.
Okay.
Yep.
Nicks him for 5 damage along his
Ouch.
shoulder. He kind of rides it up, and he's going to have splinters that he'll pick out later, but Ugg is now in their faces.
Right.
In their faces, I think he's actually all the way inside of this guy's face. Like, he is...
His poleaxe is kind of going up violently towards him as just merely putting it in Ugg's general direction was not good enough. He didn't have time to brace for the charge.
Okay, he is going to. He's just going to punch him, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know. I put my weapon down to grapple, I think. So.
I think you handed your weapon off to someone.
Yeah, he doesn't have it either. Yeah, I'm sure he doesn't have it. 11 for the charge. AC 17.
Yeah. So these soldiers have
One would assume less armor.
those look like chain shirts.
Chain shirt or chainmail.
They wouldn't have been chainmail because they'd be walking at 20, and that would have taken them forever.
Okay.
They would have like fallen behind. So they have chain shirts and a bit of Dex AC 16.
Kerpow!
Okay, you smash your fist into his face.
Shakalaka.
That guard sprawls out onto the desert ground behind him. I'm imagining you're doing more than
10 damage.
Yep, non-lethal.
Non-lethal.
Okay, so that guard is just splayed out. You're pretty sure a chiclet hit the ground, and by chiclet I mean tooth.
Yay! I tried to chew it.
Ugh, the Destroyer continues his rampage.
I hope you know what you're doing, Samuel, is what Ugg says.
Don't worry, I got a plan!
Alrighty. Caravan guards.
Surrender? Surrender's an option.
Morale check?
Wisdom check.
Alright, let's see. 1, they're gonna be cowards and take hostages. 2, they're gonna rally around Zamacles. 3, they will continue their assault. 4, they're gonna back away cowardly. 1,
Fucking hostage bullshits.
this guy, stop, is what he yells as he pushes the head of the poleaxe into Edward's chest.
Dick.
This one is going to respond to Ugg's threat in a stupid way by backing into the wagon so he can attack Ugg with his poleaxe. He's like, ah! AC 14. Bink!
Nope.
Nope.
Oh, sorry, 14 does hit. I just charged. It would hit.
Get out of my wagon.
Seriously? AC 14 hits Ugg?
Is he wearing leather armor? I can't remember if we got armor on or not.
I think you were still wearing... Well,
Leathers.
you were bathing when the combat began.
Yeah, he's got a regular AC 16, so 14 would hit after a charge.
Okay. He got hit with a poleaxe for 12 damage.
Ugh!
How's that doing?
17 damage now.
How he's got like 40 hit points.
I will check. I'm sure
Right.
that's probably bloodied, though. It's only got 2 hit dice, right?
Oh, never mind. He
got
didn't have no 40 hit
33.
points.
He's got 33. 17 of 33.
Okay, all right.
He's not bloodied. Okay.
Yeah.
This Stygian soldier is going to... He's injured, but he's going to move around and he'll try to take Ugg as a prisoner. He's going to move around and attack Ugg. He's trying to attack with the butt end, though. He knows... This one's smart enough to know that the slaves have value. These slaves have value. Which will be his mistake, because he rolls a 4. This guard is simply 5 foot stepping away from the from Samuel and reloading his gun.
Come on, another one. Let's get a full-on.
Oh no, he can't reload his gun. His gun is all fucking misfired and fucked up. He drops the gun.
Yeah, buddy.
He pulls out a rapier and tries to stick it into Samuel's face.
He tries to rapier me.
Out of 4, 2, and then you have a cover bonus because he's attacking you through a window.
27 if I don't
AC
have any
8. He actually didn't get the rapier inside. Like he panicked a little bit. He's like, ah! He's stumbling backwards, and he struck out, and the rapier basically got pushed into the frame, the wooden frame of the window. Rogers, I don't think that we can take him.
He might want a 5 foot step, sort of not into the line of sight of Zamacles. Just thinking the whole like, you know.
Yeah, he actually goes. You may want to stay out of this, Joram. He's actually kind of pushing Joram back.
Yeah, he's like, oh yeah, you're protecting the.
Stay out of this. Dwarves and slaves. I rolled the servants into the slaves, so old Whitey wiggles his hands quietly and is going to stabilize Edward.
All right. How hurt is that Stygian soldier?
The desert drakes. Let's see. 1 in 12 chance. They pop their heads over the hill to have a look at you guys fighting each other. If I roll a 1, it's bad. Nope, they're still roaring and saying "fuck you" and "eat your guns."
Eat your guns! Eat your guns!
They may not now understand how the combustion or how the gunpowder works, but eating it probably is bad. For them, at least. Snowbeard. Probably because one of them tried. Snowbeard.
Snowbeard crawls to here. And...
That's full round action.
Well, you could crawl to here and reach the gun.
Yeah, that's what he wants.
Okay, so Snowbeard reaches out, snatches the gun. So you've got this musket. It is sized for you. However, you do not have the proficiency for it. Yep.
Okay.
Sam, the understudy, stands from prone. He's like, oh, what's going on? Why are you doing this, Ugg? Is what he's saying. The dragons may come back.
Don't worry, we're just having a minor disagreement. See reason. Kissy lips.
Zamacles.
We're just looking for a new deal.
Picks up this Stygian soldier's poleaxe and tries to whap Ugg with it.
I will break your wand in half, you son of a bitch!
No, it's very valuable, is what he says.
I know!
Alright, his bab was...
Take a shit in your closet!
His bab was 4...
I'm not really good at negotiating.
Okay, AC 15 against Ugg.
Yeah, he just charged, so...
This charge.
Alright, so Zamacles does the same damage as the other soldiers do for 6.
12? Oh, 6, okay.
The roll is the same.
Alright. I can take 6.
Okay.
Down, you dastardly fiend, you! Down, back into your cage!
It appears you've got a bit of a problem. Your problems might be mine.
Hey, Radimer! We're on the free market if you're looking for some help!
Radimer likes some of you.
Free agents?
You know what? He's confident enough that he can take you guys. Push comes to shove. He's going to save his spells. Is he hurt? He's not hurt. That guard is hurt. I think Radimer actually wanders. He just glances and sees that guard down, he's going to stabilize that guard. Undwin. Unwin's freaking out. The dragons! The